one of my favorite things to do with them is teach them concepts and ideas through music. I did a good job today, guys. I got home before 3:30. One of my kids found my YouTube channel. Some of my kids got stung by bees. A stranger could just call their name. I got a box from Pampered Teacher. Like when they come to the table, they get their markers ready because they know we're doing sight words right away. You want them to actually make those connections with the words on the page. I was focusing on predictions a little bit, so I think that'll be a nice connection for them. And I'm so excited that they're allowing me to do this giveaway for you guys because I think that you guys are absolutely amazing. Morning, guys. So I'm gonna vlog this week and it's gonna be crazy because absolutely everything is going on this week. I mean, I have parent-teacher conferences, a field trip, and I'm doing an escape room because I'm crazy apparently. So it's gonna be a really fun week and I can't wait for you to see. It's actually about 6:40, which is a lot later than I wanted to leave, but Mondays are always really hard for me. I find it impossible to wake up, and I'm also gonna get coffee, so I'm probably gonna get there right when school starts, and that is okay because I need coffee on Mondays. I'm home and it's not even 4:30. Today was actually a really great day, but I'm still exhausted because it's a Monday, and that's just how Mondays go for me. No matter what, I'm always really tired on a Monday. Maybe it's because I stay up later usually on Sunday nights because my husband has Monday off, and so I just want to spend more time with him when I probably should be sleeping. But you know, yeah, today went pretty well. The only reason I stayed even as long as I did, I don't usually stay that long on a Monday because normally everything's already done, but parent-teacher conferences are tomorrow and I wanted to go ahead and get a little bit prepped, a little bit ready for those. I'm mostly ready, and the conferences are really short. They're only like 10 minutes. I did have, I think, quite a few parents sign up, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll see how that goes tomorrow. But today was actually a really good day. My kids' behavior, I honestly think it was the best it's ever been. I didn't take a single dojo point today, and I will take them. And I didn't take anything. Today was a really great day. They left the room a little bit messy, but I'll take it. You can't have everything in life. In reading right now, we're working on maps, and they've already done a little bit of map writing, and this week they're making maps and then writing about the maps they made. So it was really fun today to get to see them make their maps, and some of them were so incredibly creative. I just can't believe it. And some of them, Today Matthew, we're working on number bonds, which is something that they are familiar with, but if you turn the number bond on its side, so normally it's like a whole and then a part and then a part. If you turn it to where it's like a whole and a part, they get confused and they think it's something different. So we worked on that today, and we worked on writing number sentences with our number bond. But here's the thing, apparently we're behind a week in our scope and sequence. Not like me personally, well, me, but as a team. I didn't notice that last week it says in our scope and sequence, which kind of lays out what we're gonna do in the standards for the year, that it said we were supposed to do this last week, but we didn't do this last week. We did something else last week. Now I'm kind of reconsidering the pace I want my lessons to go at, because I had my lessons structured to where they were, how do I say this, meaty enough to hopefully get them good by Thursday, because our field trip is on Friday and Friday doesn't count. So I had planned my escape room for Thursday, but if we get a whole nother week next week, I'm just gonna make my escape room next week and they'll have even more fun with it, I think. So it's good and it's bad. It's good because my kids get more time on something they need and it's bad because I wish I had caught this sooner because I planned for everything to be done this week. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I did teach them our new song. One of my favorite things to do with them is teach them concepts and ideas through music. So we did a song for the cardinal directions to Camila Cabello's Havana. And then today we learned a song to Taylor Swift's Shake It Off, and it's about add-ins and the commutative property. We don't actually use the term commutative property with them, but it's kind of what we're teaching with our number bonds too. So it's a lot, and they're first graders and it's fine. But yeah, I'm really enjoying all the time I get to spend with them, and we started doing handshakes in the morning. So before fall break, we came up with a class handshake, and so every morning I have been greeting them at the door with the handshake, and they are diligent about it. If I forget it, they're like, Miss Call, the handshake. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. And they're getting so much better at it, and my poor kids. It starts off with the motion, how you would start patty cake, you know, where you have two hands like this. I only have one arm right now, but like you go like this, and then you do that, and then you clap, that patty cake motion. That first part is actually really hard for some of my kids, but it's kind of cute because they're like having their hands backwards. It's cute. Yeah, but tomorrow is parent-teacher conferences, so I'll let you know how that goes. I plan on doing something a little bit different with my forms, so I'll talk to you guys about that, and then I can tell you how it goes. The hard part about vlogging in the morning is you can't really see me, but I got all my data put in, I got dressed. For conferences, I'm just wearing black dress pants, a blouse, and just like a basic gray cardigan. I really just wanted to be cozy, and you know, most of the time I would just take this opportunity to wear a dress, but I didn't feel like wearing a dress this morning, so I rolled with it, and I'm proud of that decision. So I'm gonna head out and get some coffee before I have to go to work, and I'm just really hoping that today goes just as good as yesterday, because my kids were amazing yesterday, so we'll see. So I just got home from parent-teacher conferences. Oh my gosh, I am exhausted, absolutely exhausted. It is 7:12, but it couldn't have gone any better. I knew I was gonna like parent-teacher conferences, but there was still something in me that I was just nervous. The first time you do anything, you're gonna be nervous. So of course I did what I always do, and I overplanned the heck out of my conferences. I wanted to try to fit as much in as I possibly could. Oh, hi. Because we only get 10 minutes, and I actually had a lot of parents sign up, and I had parents who wanted to meet with me even though I didn't think they had signed up before, which was only better. I wanted to meet with all of my kids and their parents, but it didn't happen. But I'm really thankful I got to meet with the parents that I did get to meet. So I feel like the way I prepared really helped me go through the conferences, and I just felt like a teacher. It's things like that that really make me feel like a teacher, because yeah, I'm in my room all day with my kids and we're learning and I'm teaching them, but you know, it's just me and them. When I can talk to other people about it, it makes me feel more like a teacher. So it's also really nice to just get to talk to the parents and tell them, you know, how amazing their kids are. I love all of them, and it was really neat because they told me a lot about what they do at home, what they like to do at home. I got to have really good conversations with them about their child, which I don't normally get because most people have jobs and things they need to do and places they need to be, and they can't see me every single day. So most of my communication is through their students' agenda or through Class Dojo, but it was really nice to get those face-to-face meetings and those smiles and the handshakes and the hugs. Like, it's just really nice. I look like a mess because it's been a rainy day. Of course, because it's parent-teacher conferences, I had bus duty and I went to take the kids outside and I didn't realize it was raining. My hair got soaking wet and now it is frizzy, but it's fine. No parents judged me. They actually complimented my room and told me I was organized, which who doesn't love to hear that? I left feeling really, really good, but it is almost 7 o'clock, so I'm glad to be home. I do want to film a video and tell you guys all about what I did, what I used, how I did it, but right now I'm just really, really exhausted. And tomorrow's Thursday, and then it's Friday, and we're going to the pumpkin patch. So this week's just been a long week. Having parent-teacher conferences on a Tuesday, I'm realizing now is like maybe not as good as having them on like a Thursday or something. But yeah, let me know, do you guys feel good about parent-teacher conferences, or do they kind of scare you a little bit? I know that talking to some teachers in my grade and in the school in general, they're like, well, you know, you get to learn a lot about their home life, but I feel like all of my parents at least communicated to me that they're actually really trying with their kids at home, and that means so much to me, and their kids are reminding them to do things like read every night. That's good, because sometimes they don't remember to do things in class, but if they go home and remember to read, I'm happy. It's also nice to just get to sit down and vlog again, because I only did it for like 2 weeks, but it's nice to just kind of reflect on things. You know, when you're in the moment and you're doing things, You know how you feel about them, but when you sit down and look back, you kind of see it from a different perspective. Today was a really great day, and it's been a really, really great week. Like, their behavior's been amazing. I know it's only Tuesday. It feels like Friday, though. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. All right, so it is Wednesday after school. I'm sitting outside because it's sweater weather finally. I was actually burning up inside with my sweater on, but outside it feels great. So I actually just filmed a video, my first teacher collaboration video. I'm super excited about it, with Kate and CJ and Vanessa and Maura and Marie. So it's already out by the time you guys will see this vlog. So go watch it. It's a teacher what would you do edition. So really fun. But I got home at a really good time today. As you can see, it's still daylight outside. I did a good job today, guys. I got home before 3:30. I pretty much left right after school. And it felt really, really good. Part of the reason was because I was so exhausted. Parent-teacher conferences yesterday were really great to have. You guys have already heard my thoughts on it, but it's really exhausting at the same time. So today I kind of just had like a headache all day. I didn't have time to get coffee in the morning. I was running late, which is why I didn't vlog in the morning, because I was literally running out the door hoping I would make it to school on time, which I did, so it was fine. It's always funny though, because my kids are like, Miss Call, where were you? Like, they expect me to always be there, which is a good thing. And I kind of like that they get upset when I'm not like right there waiting for them, because I know they love me. So I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but I've started doing handshakes with my kids. Even on days where I'm like, go, 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 we have to rush, they're like, we need to do our handshake, or we need to do our morning song. Like, they always remember those things. It's nice to know that they like doing those things and they're not just doing it because I tell them to. I feel like that's something I'm really good at with my kids, is getting them excited about things and wanting to do things. It's one of my favorite parts about teaching, is getting to share, you know, my passions with them. And I love music, and so any chance I get, I always bring music into the classroom. And even on things that I don't necessarily love, I'll try to get them really excited about that, because, you know, why not just give them the chance to love maps? I mean, maps are kind of boring, if I'm being honest with you guys, because we don't use maps in any kind of fun way. But when you're in first grade and you can, you know, create a map of a place with unicorns and mermaids, like, they're into that. They think it's fun, and I love that they think those things are fun. Also, speaking of things that children like, YouTube is one of them. It blows my mind that one of my kids found my YouTube channel just at home. Like, she wasn't searching for me. She had no idea. She was just at home and she found my YouTube channel. And I don't get it, because other YouTubers, you know, some of them say like, oh yeah, a couple kids know, or their parents know, and things like that. But I'm like, how did a first grader find my channel? But some things I've really been enjoying in the classroom are center time. We have had such a good week. I know it's only Wednesday. Yesterday I probably said we had a great week and it was only Tuesday, but they're doing so awesome. I'm at the point where my kids, you know, have a routine and they expect that routine, and when things aren't going the way our routine normally goes, they notice and they say something, or they ask questions like, why are we doing this, or shouldn't we be doing this? Which is good, because sometimes I just forget things and they remember. Like our sight words, I put our sight words up on the wall by my door and I change them out every week, or I try to remember to change them out every week, and if I don't change them, they're like, Miss Call, you forgot to change the sight words. Like, they remind me of things all the time, because you just can't have it all together all the time. So it's like little things like that that make me really happy, because they're things that they notice. And I'm putting a lot of work into my room and my kids, and the fact that it's kind of coming back to me now is a really, really good feeling. It's just nice to be outside in this weather. I feel like it's probably like 60 degrees outside right now. It's just beautiful. So I ended up deciding that I'm going to push our escape room to maybe not next week, I'm not sure, because we're supposed to be doing number bonds and fact families for a little while, a lot longer than I thought, which I was nervous about. So I'm really glad we actually get, I think it's like a full 12 days to do it, which is good. But I had a moment in my class today. It's always nice to know, like, you're teaching things and they're learning, right? So we started on Monday with the number bonds, and on Monday they kind of got it, and on Tuesday about half of them got it and half of them had no idea. But today we did a similar activity, and almost every single kid got it, and I just felt so good. I was like, I am teaching you things. You are learning from me. It's just a nice feeling. I feel like all teachers have it, but as a first-year teacher, it just feels a little bit better, I think. I'm also like really enjoying being at home. Even though my husband's not home yet, I'm really enjoying being here while there's still daylight. I think it's a really good thing that I left the classroom as soon as I could today, because I don't ever do this. I usually stay at the school at least till the sun's setting, and that's not healthy. And I'm so much happier being here right now and not, you know, necessarily doing schoolwork, which I'm about to do probably. I don't know. I think I might start on next week's PowerPoint just because I know pretty much what we're doing next week. I don't know. I kind of am just enjoying not doing anything today. That's okay, right? Surely that's fine. Alright, so I think I'm going to go put on some comfy clothes and watch some TV and probably make some number bond worksheets. So speaking of number bonds and things that we're learning, I actually had kind of a moment today that made me feel a little bit different, so I'll explain. You guys know I love to make things and create things because I'm good at it and I like it, and I like creating things for my students. I'd rather just spend the time I would searching for something to just make something that fits my needs. I make a lot of things for my classroom, for my students, and spend a lot of time doing those things. But the thing is, I don't always do them ahead of time. A lot of times it's like maybe the day before I'm like, oh, this would actually be really great if I had this, or like the day before the week starts or something. And so most of these things that I make, I kind of just keep to myself. And I know from the beginning my team has been really good about sharing things. Like as a team, we all have a filing cabinet where we have all these resources for all of the different units that we have. So I don't ever really have to spend a lot of time like on Pinterest finding things, because I already have some really great resources that are already pulled for me. I just have to make copies of them. That's a really great thing that we have as a team. And what we do is if anybody has anything that would kind of add or supplement to it, we add it to whatever folder for whatever unit we're in. Even though I make things and I like them and I think they work for my kids, or I hope they're going to work for my kids, I haven't necessarily been doing my part to contribute to that, because I'm so nervous on what people would think about it, and I feel like I wouldn't want to share something just for someone to kind of, I don't know, like put it down or say it's not good or things like that. So the things I make I kind of just kept in my classroom for me and my kids to use. But it's not late. Come on, car. My trees are happy. Bye, loud car. So anyways, I haven't necessarily been contributing all of my ideas because I've just been kind of nervous on how they would be received, because I'm a first-year teacher and I'm obviously just doing what I think is right, and I don't have all these years of experience to back it up. And there have been times where I've like left things in the copier and like someone else copied it because it was there and they liked it and they wanted to use it. I've been in their classrooms and said, oh, that's mine, where'd you get that? And then it ends up I just left it in the copier, but they liked it. And the thing is, like, I can sit here and make things and put things on TPT for other teachers to use, but when it comes to giving them to the teachers in my own school, I'm just nervous about it. And today we were having one of our little team meetings, and I was checking a number bond worksheet that I made for my kids, that my kids did terrible with yesterday and good with today. And she was like, where'd you get that? I like that. And I said, I made it. And another teacher was like, this is amazing. This is great. And the other woman in her group was like, you should share these things with us. I was just making all these excuses in my head about why I didn't share them, because I don't know, of reasons that don't even matter. And I shouldn't even care if they like the things I make or don't make. I think from here on out, I'm literally just going to email out every single thing I do, and if they use it, they use it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't, and it doesn't matter. I think it's just because I'm a first-year teacher and I don't want to be doing things wrong. So if I send something out and they're like, oh, this isn't what you need to do at all, I feel like I would just be afraid of that. But I mean, hey, it would do nothing but benefit me anyway, right? So I think I'm gonna work on some more of those number bond practice sheets and just enjoy the light. Okay, I've just pulled up to school. I have a little bit of time to gather my thoughts, but not too much time to talk. So I'm nervous about the field trip. I'm super excited. I think there's supposed to be 5 parents coming today, and I just want to make sure that the kids have a good time, they have a good time, and that nobody gets lost. I definitely feel like I am going to be prepared with everything I'm bringing. I'm one of those people who overpacks and overplans for everything. And the best part is I finally used my stars, like my Starbucks reward stars, and got a venti coffee with like 4 shots of espresso and all of that. So today will hopefully be a good day. And yes, I'm changing after award ceremony. I'm not wearing a dress to the field trip. I almost did, but I'm not. I want to show you guys really quickly what I plan to put in this drawstring bag. I got this from the Target Dollar Spot, and it has 2 little front pockets. So in one pocket, I'm going to put Band-Aids for easy access and hand sanitizer. The nurse is putting a first aid kit in my bag, so I don't need too much more than that. I just wanted to just make sure I have Band-Aids. Someone recommended I bring a Sharpie because they say they always end up using it for something. This is one of my smelly spots that I'm gonna bring just to kind of bribe the kids. I'm bringing lotion for me because I have an issue and I need my hands to have lotion on them all the time. And these are just tissues for the kids. These are baby wipes that I'm gonna bring. Mints just in case. It's for sickness on the bus, basically is what it's for. A big bottle of water for myself. Some extra little baggies in case I need them, a folder with all of my students' information and all of that, and then a folder that's just like health related things for my kids. I'm also bringing a few paper towels, and I think that's it. Also, a change of clothes. Before I tell you about my day and the field trip and all of that, I got a box from Pampered Teacher. And they asked if they could send it to me, and I said yes because I'm just exhausted, and I thought that it'd be really nice to have something to come home to that just made me happy. So I said yes because I was really curious to see what's inside. I've done different subscriptions before, like Ipsy and things like that. Ipsy I just kind of got tired of because it was like all sample sizes, and I would rather just buy full-size products of things that I know I like. But this is a box themed around teachers, and it's a subscription box, so I'm really excited to see what's inside. I shouldn't be trusted with sharp things, but here we are. Okay, I'm really excited. Alright, ooh! Okay, so I guess this is breast cancer themed. Well, obviously it is because it's pink, and it's October, and it's got the breast cancer hearts all around. So it says, oh, I guess these are the contents of what's inside. There's a quote on the back that says, once you choose hope, anything is possible. Okay, so I've got all this. This isn't confetti, it's like party fluff? I don't know. I'm gonna call it party fluff. Oh my gosh, so I'm so excited. I am someone who has a major sweet tooth, and I actually love Famous Amos cookies, and I think I might eat them like soon, or maybe I could save them. I don't know. I love these cookies. I'd buy like the whole box of them. Yay! This is so fun. I'll kind of show you just an overview. So this is the lanyard, I guess. I'm really excited. I think I might actually switch it out as soon as I go inside because that's awesome. It's so cute too. I like how it's mostly black with just little pink ribbons because it really makes it stand out, whereas if it was all pink it would kind of just look like a pink lanyard. But yay! I'm gonna wear that all month. Oh, the apple eraser. That is so cute. I can use this back at my table during guided reading because I actually took one of the erasers that's in their word workstation and I put it by my back table so I would have an eraser. But now I have a cute apple eraser and they're gonna love it. Accessory tape circles. Securely hold collars, cardigans, scarves, belts, and more in place. Oh my gosh. So I have double-sided tapes, and sometimes like I'll tape my cardigan like to my body if I want it to stay closed more. But this is a product for that. That's genius. That's genius. This is the best thing ever. I didn't know this existed, and I literally could use this all the time. I had 2 expo markers, which is good because actually some of my expo markers in my word workstation need to be replaced, so I'm glad I have these. Oh my gosh, so this is the soap, and on the back it has a little Pampered Teacher thing. It has a little breast cancer symbol. That is amazing. Me and my husband are really into like, not nice soaps, but nicer soaps, you know what I mean? Like just nicer soaps. So I'm gonna love this, and maybe he'll like it too. He likes like rose scents and things. He's probably gonna be like, why did you tell people that? He does though. And last is the box. I don't remember what this is supposed to be. Oh, it's the origami crane. It's like a little pendant. Of course, I have my number for my field trip. That is really, really cute. Love it. Wow, this was a really, really great box. Man, I'm so excited. So Pampered Teacher actually reached out to me on Instagram and asked me if they could just send me a box. So I don't know if they watch my YouTube channel or if they know about it, but that was a really, really kind thing for them to do. And if this sounds like something you're interested in, I'll leave the link to their website below just so you can check it out. I'm obviously not getting anything from it. I don't have a code. Maybe I can get a code. I don't know. I feel like now, realizing how tiring teacher really is, coming home to something like this is actually really, really exciting. Like, I've had a long week, but this kind of made my day. So I'm losing a little bit of light. That's just how it goes. It's 6:18. I didn't leave school as early as I wanted to today, but that's just because right after school I kind of mapped out my lessons for next week, which normally I would do earlier, but it just didn't happen. So I stayed till like probably like 5:30 today. Oh well, it's fine. And yesterday I stayed till like 8. Let me tell you about my field trip. So you saw everything that I packed, and I definitely was prepared for the field trip. I overpacked a little bit, and that's okay because you always hope that you overpack and not underpack. You know what I mean? Nobody got sick on the bus, thank goodness. So I didn't need the change of clothes or like the barf bag or the paper towels or the peppermints. So I'm keeping all that in there for next time so it's prepped and ready to go. But yeah, I forgot that peppermints are something that kind of helps motion sickness, and when I posted that on Instagram and somebody said peppermints, I was like, what? And then they said sickness, and I said, oh, that makes a lot of sense. The things that really came in handy were the medical forms, because actually some of my kids got stung by bees on the farms, and I like quickly looked to just see if there's like a note about bee stings or anything like that, and I talked to their parents. One of them was actually chaperoning the trip, and she was fine, and the other one responded and told me that she would be fine, and I just wanted to check just in case. Thankfully I didn't need to call any parents, thankfully, and I actually had I think 4 chaperones with me, so managing the group was pretty easy. What I decided to do was break all of my kids into groups, even though we would be together as one class the whole time. I wanted to assign groups to my chaperones, that way they had a set number of kids to kind of keep an eye on, and they did a really great job with that. So I was group number 1. All of my kids had a 1 on their hand, and then 2 and 3 and 4. You get it. And it actually was really nice, and I put the numbers on the chaperones' hands too, so it was really easy for the kids, which they're good about that stuff anyway, but you know, if something happens, it's nice to have it right there. And they were excited to be in groups with their friends, even though we were all together anyway. So we went to a pumpkin patch, and originally I thought it was going to be a pumpkin patch field trip where you go to the pumpkin patch, you pick a pumpkin, and you leave. Clearly I've never done these things before though, because it was like a petting zoo, a hay ride, this ginormous playground, and then pumpkins, and then you leave. So it was all day, which I expected, but I didn't realize where we were going. I don't know. We don't have class shirts or anything like that, so all of the first grade teachers assigned their kids a color to wear, and most of them chose a different color. I chose white for my kids. I said, please just wear a white shirt, that way you can be identified as my group, and no one else picked white, so I'm super glad about that, because it was really easy to spot my kids. And I chose white because I feel like it stands out among most things, especially on like a farm where everything's mostly like green and brown and dark. I feel like white just pops, and it was really easy to find my kids. I also put labels on them, which I wanted to do anyway, but I wasn't sure what I should put on them. Originally I was gonna put their name, my name, and number on there, and then in my Instagram comments someone mentioned not putting their name on the label you stick on them, because a stranger could just call their name. And I thought, oh, that's a really good point. Instead, I just put my name, first grade, and then the school's phone number. But it worked out. No one got lost. I was counting my kids all day long. I actually put a class list on the back of my ID card on my lanyard, which I had wanted to do at the beginning of the year but never got around to it, so I made it happen. And it was nice because even though my kids were in groups and everything, if I glanced around really quickly, I could just look at my lanyard and just see the names and then glance up and be like, yeah, we're good. And it worked out really nicely. There was a point in the field trip that I was so scared because the farm we went to had a ginormous playground, like ginormous playground, and our guide said, okay, and this is the playground, these are your boundaries, and it was like the whole thing. And I'm telling you, like, it was a huge playground. It was insane. They of course had like the big slides where the kids would get on the little sacks and slide down, and they had like an area filled with corn kernels that they can get in and play in, and all of these cool unique little equipment pieces. So the kids really enjoyed it, but it was kind of stressful for me because it was such a large area, and obviously we weren't the only people there. There were people who just came to the farm on a normal day and were being with their kids, and I was like, I don't know where any of my kids are right now. So I tried to have a little bit of fun with my kids, but for the most part I was like trying to walk everything and like see where these kids were. And thankfully whenever she called everybody back, they all came really quickly, so that's good. It definitely was a cute field trip, and I'm really, really proud of my kids for how they did. Another thing that really came in handy was the hand sanitizer, because they didn't even have sinks where we were eating, so I'm really glad I brought that. And the Band-Aids, of course, we had a couple bee stings, so I just stuck a Band-Aid on and they were good to go. I ended up using the baby wipes after lunch because, again, there were no sinks and I wouldn't want to wait for the line anyway. And kids, they bring Cheetos and just things, and it gets all over their face, so they wiped up their hands with the baby wipe, wiped their face with the baby wipe, and we were good to go. So baby wipes, hand sanitizer, and Band-Aids were like so useful. And baby wipes weren't really something I would have thought to have brought, but somebody mentioned it in my Instagram comments and I said that's a really good idea. Another thing I did that I really recommend you do, is also recommended to me, was take a picture of your kids before you go on the field trip, or take a video or something of all of your kids, get their outfit. I just went through on my phone and took a video of all my kids and make sure I could see like not just their jacket, but like their shirt and their pants and their shoes, just in case they were to go missing or you needed to find them. That way you could tell people not just like what they looked like, what color their hair is, but what they were actually wearing. And it's, you know, it's kind of a scary thought, but I'm glad I did it. So we spent all day at the farm, and then we get on the bus and they want to be loud and crazy, and I said, I will give 5 dojo points to the friends who take a nap on the bus ride back. And y'all, some of them fell asleep. It was beautiful. And the ones who weren't sleeping were pretending to sleep. And I was like, yes, winning. I love Class Dojo. My kids are really, really into Class Dojo points. They love earning points and buying our coupons. I think I'd really like to do a video on how I use Class Dojo in my classroom because I absolutely love it. It's the best thing ever. So if you use Class Dojo or don't use Class Dojo, let me know what questions you have and I'll tell you all about it in my next video. Yeah, I'm exhausted and I'm definitely ready for the weekend. I have to make guided reading plans. I have to make a couple activities for next week. But overall, I think next week's going to be a really fun week because it's a pumpkin themed week. We're reading Pumpkin Jack and then another pumpkin book, and my kids are going to write about pumpkins. I'm going to try to fit a directed drawing in because we haven't got to do one this year and I really, really like them and they're so fun, and my kids need fine motor skills and I really want to. So we'll see if I can fit it in. I really want to. But I'll let you guys know what I'm doing tomorrow. Good afternoon and happy Sunday. I just love Sundays. I'm excited that I get to vlog with you guys a little bit more now that I have the time to do it. It's just nice because you can see so much more of, you know, the life of a teacher. So today I am doing my guided reading plans. And I would like to talk in a full video about my entire guided reading. A lot of you have asked for it. So here's just a little sneak peek, and I'll talk to you mostly about what I'm going to be planning. I know a lot of you have messaged me and asked what I do. It's just kind of nice to see, you know, what a first-year teacher is doing in her guided reading. And am I the best guided reading teacher in the entire world? Heck no, not even close. I just do what I know and what I think my kids need at that time. So this is kind of an overview of how I plan for my guided reading. I do want to say first that I do use the Jan Richardson guided reading template. So when I was in student teaching, they were really big on Jan Richardson because Jan Richardson actually came from Hamilton County. I went to school at the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga, so they were really big on Jan. So I am continuing to use Jan at the school where I teach as a real teacher now, and I've really liked it. For one, because it's something I'm used to. I really like the structure. I really like how fast-paced it is, and I've noticed now that me and my kids have done guided reading, they're getting quicker and quicker, and they're expecting certain things to happen. Like when they come to the table, they get their markers ready because they know we're doing sight words right away. I'll probably only show you a couple groups. Otherwise, this video would be really long. I'm just going to talk to you about the plans. So I do them on Sunday because I can't really do them throughout the week. I want my guided reading to be as responsive. Oh my gosh, this child. I want my guided reading to be as responsive as it can be to my students. So every week I take observations on every single student, and I've got it laid out in, I'll show you a blank template. It's in my binder, and I just turn to this page, and every single week I take notes on students, so that for this week I can look back at all of my students for the individual groups, see what they need more work on, see what they did well in, so I can plan for the upcoming week. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. I did already pick up my books on Friday. At my school we have the Fontes and Pinnell guided reading literacy sets. So all of our books are Fontes and Pinnell, and I have 5 different reading groups right now. Eventually I would like it to get to 4, but right now we're at 5. Basically we get the books and we get this little folder. So I always bring home the folder of the book and then one book on the inside. So I just clip it together at the bottom because I don't want the books falling out and getting messed up. I like to keep them nice. So the reason I don't do this at school is because I don't want to stay super late on a Friday, but I don't want to plan earlier than that because I want it to be responsive. So the first group I'm going to plan for is my lower group. It is a group of 3 students. One of them only speaks a little bit of English. One of them still in ESL, and he came to me on a pre-A reading level. And the other little girl, it was actually on a pre-A reading level too. So I've done, how many books have I done so far? I've done 3 books with them so far. So we've met for 3 weeks, and we've been working on a level A the entire time. We're still gonna be on a level A. This week I picked the book, The Picture Wall. I'll kind of explain why. If you're not familiar with guided reading at all, that's okay. This book is a level A, so I'll show you kind of the inside of what a level A book might look like. You're gonna see mostly sight words and then 1 or maybe 2 words that the students have to decode. And when I say decode, I mean use a strategy to figure out the word. For this Lolo group, it's mostly been checking the picture. That's been their main strategy because we're still working on letters, we're still working on sounds. We're not just doing what's in the book. Maybe I should have explained that. So basically the template, I can just show it to you. So this is a guided reading template that Jan has for levels A through C in guided reading, so I use it for them. I include an extra day, a day 1, where we just do sight words, letter sounds, and some kind of word study where we're probably breaking up CVC words, so like the word cat, k, at, sliding it together, things like that. And the other 2 days we spend just in the text. So usually on the first day I do kind of just like a picture walk with them. But for day 1, I just put on a sticky note what we're doing. So this was last week. And then for days 2 and 3, which normally on this plan would be 1 and 2, but since I'm adding an extra day of just plain working on sight words and letters and sounds and all of that, I add a sticky note for it. So last week we worked on the words have, my, and you. This book was Lunch for Monkey, and basically it was like, this is my banana, this is my cupcake, this is my pickle. And the words this is my are words that they should just instantly recognize. That's why they're sight words. But you'll notice a lot with your lower groups, they kind of just remember the words and they're not necessarily reading. So we're focusing on pointing to each word. This is my, not just this is my pickle, this is my monkey, this is my, you know what I mean? Because you don't want them to just memorize it. You want them to actually make those connections with the words on the page. Up until this point, they could just look right at the picture and figure out the word. But I feel like I wanted to pick a book this time that was a little bit more challenging to them, and they had to use another strategy besides just checking the picture. So I picked The Picture Wall. And I'll show you what it looks like inside. So it says, look at my mom, look at my sister, look at my dad. And it's a boy pointing to a picture. Now, of course, you can't just look at this picture and say, that's his dad. You wouldn't know that. So what I really want them to do this time is focus on that first letter in the word they are not sure of. So if it says, look at my dad, I want them to see the first letter, D, and get their mouth ready for that sound. So D, duh, and try to figure out the word. Dad, this is my dad. So we'll see how that goes. That's kind of my goal for this group this week, is to pay attention to the first letter in the word. So I will get a clean plan and write my plans with you. So the first thing I'm gonna do is think about day one. So I'm just gonna put this on a Post-it note. For sure, I wanna go over some sight words. Those are things I continually need to see. We're definitely gonna continue letter sounds, and then we're gonna work with the sight words in our book. And those I think are look at and my. Look at my. Okay. Look is one that I'm gonna teach them. They know at and they know my, but we're gonna work with it some more. So we're gonna teach look and then work with at and my. So that's what's gonna be on day one. I'm gonna set this aside for right now. Okay, so the first thing you do is write your student's name. I'm not gonna do that because it's a video, obviously. And then the title and level. So this is the picture wall, level A. And then you go through and put the dates. So I'm actually gonna be meeting with them. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. We stay, of course, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of next week. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So 10, day 3. So her plan normally just has day 1 and day 2, but for me this is going to be my day 1 and this will be day 2 and day 3. So the sight word review right here, we're definitely going to review look, my, and I don't want to review at because I know they have that word, so I'm going to pick a different word that they've been working on. I'm going to do the word you, Y-O-U-U. And then for the book introduction, we are going to do a picture walk on day 1. I don't write it down because we always do it, but we're going to do a picture walk on day 1. I'm going to tell them about David and about how David has lots of pictures of his family and things like that. So for this, I'm just going to write picture walk and family because I know what I'm going to say. I don't really need to write it out right here. And then for this part, she has a section for new vocabulary. I am going to talk some more about the words grandma and grandpa, just because I have 2 ESL kids in here and I want them to be able to recognize that word. So we're just gonna say grandma and grandpa. Next, this is the section that talks about where you want to help them basically. So we are definitely working on pointing to each word. We're working on check the picture. Really only pick a couple of these. We were focusing on check the picture last week, but I'm gonna make sure we do make the first sound this week. For my strategy focus, it's going to be get your mouth ready. So I'm gonna put get mouth ready, my strategy focus. So jumping down here, this is the discussion prompt. So after they read the book and you're using all these strategies with them, afterwards on the first day, I like to ask them a question about what they read. So I'm just gonna say, who was in David's family, and then who is in your family? And this is something really, really short. It's not something you're gonna talk about for like 10 minutes. It's just really short, really quick. And I only have 3 kids in my group, so this is not something that takes up a lot of time. After they read, you want to have something to talk to them about, what you noticed about something that they read. So what I want to work on with them is monitoring with letters and sounds. Teaching one sight word at the end, that's something that I do sometimes with them, but I found for my lower group, it's really just helpful to teach the word before they read, because they're still learning English, some of them for the most part. So if I teach a word, it's gonna be like. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this part though. And then word study, we always do sound boxes and we're gonna do CVC words. Probably just cab, dad, and Matt, because I don't wanna spend too much time on it. On the second day, this is normally where you would review this word, but I really don't know if I wanna teach this word. I'm putting it in here just in case. If they do really good with look, my, and you, I'll teach it. If not, I'm still gonna stick with look. This group is moving kind of slow right now, and so I don't wanna overwhelm them with too much to remember. Because, you know, for weeks 1, 2, and 3, they've really only learned probably about 4 sight words. So I really think I'm going to continue with just the word look, my, and then we'll try have. That's one I introduced to them before, so we'll try that. And this is where they would reread the next book. And for fluency and comprehension, really you do this on both days. I just forgot to mark it. Focusing on what did you just read? Tell me about the story. And then this one is text to self, which I asked right here, who's in your family? So my next discussion prompt is going to be, what do you think David's family likes to do? And the reason I'm asking this question is because it doesn't tell us in the book. So for example, this page just has a picture of his grandma fishing, but I want them to look at the pictures and start thinking about the story. Like, what are they doing in this picture? Or name something that that family member likes to do. For their writing at this point, since they are level A, it's definitely going to be something that I tell them to write. So I think this time they're going to write about their family members. So on a sticky note, I'll just write the name of one of their family members. So we'll just write, look at my whoever. And then with this group, I always have them write the lines. So we say, look at my, we'll just say mom. So look at my mom. Say it with me. Look at my mom. Let's count the words in that sentence. Look at my mom. 4 words. So we need 4 lines on that paper. So look at my mom. Okay, point to the line and say your sentence. Look at my mom. And then they write, look at my mom. So that's appropriate for this group. And then at the end, you would say, this text was hard, appropriate, or easy, and then what to focus on next. But this is kind of an overview of what I'm going to do with my lower group. So I'm just going to stick this post-it note on right here and stick it in my binder. So for me, guided reading plans don't take too long to write, especially for the lower groups, because it's literally just sight words and recognizing words and checking your picture and things like that. I'm also going to walk you through how I would do a lesson plan for my kids on level D. So for this group, I picked the book Scat Cat. This is in the Fontes and Pinnell series, so again, it comes with this little folder. Before I write my guided reading plans, I usually like to look over it because it gives you some really good ideas on what you can do in your group and some goals you can set for them. So for example, on the back of this for writing, a suggestion it gives you is to make a prediction on what the boy will do. So I always like to just look at this before I make my plan because it kind of takes some of the workload off of me. But when I was in student teaching, we didn't have these little folders. You just kind of had to do what you wanted to do. So this book is Scat Cat, and usually when I write my plans, I'll just go through and look a little bit closer at the book, read the story, see what I want to ask the kids about. I'll show you what a level D book looks like in comparison to a level A book. So the level A book you saw, it was look at my mom. This book has more dialogue in it and things like that. So that's an example of what a level D book might look like. I'm just gonna read it really quick. Something else this book has in it is a text feature. So the little boy is talking to the cat in every picture. Cute, this book is adorable. There are a couple of reasons I did pick this book with my group. It has a lot of words that we've practiced as a group and that I think they'll know and be able to do well with. So in our group, we've practiced the words said, not, and, they, come, and again. And I keep track of their sight words in my guided reading binder. If you guys want to see inside my guided reading binder, I would be really happy to make a whole video on how I organize it because I think I have a really good system. So let me know if you're interested in that. We practice those words, and text in this book is repetitive. So page to page, they are reading similar versions. So it says, I got on the slide, the cat came with me. I said scat cat, but she didn't scat. I walked by a tree, the cat came with me. Go up the tree, I said, but she didn't go. So they are still very similar from page to page. They're just a little bit different. So they're gonna have to read closely for that. The guided reading plan for level D through I is a little bit different than the guided reading plan for levels A through C. So that's why I picked this one to do with you guys because it's different. So I'll kind of give you an overview of that and talk to you about how I want to plan. First, I'm going to check my observations on the students. Obviously can't show you because it has their names on it, but I just kind of want to see where they're at. Checking my observations on my students is something I do before I go pick the books as well. That way I know kind of what book to pick. So looking back at my notes, I remember more reasons why I picked this book. It has dialogue in it, which our last book did not have, and something I noticed with a couple of my students in this group is they were reading kind of word by word and more like a robot. So we've been working on making our voice kind of move up and down when we read and get those different intonations in our voice. And this dialogue I think is going to really help them with that. So good job, past Maylene, for picking this book. All right, so let's hop in. So again, the first thing you do is write your student's name, but I'm not going to do that. So the title of this book is Scat Cat. Right there. For the dates, So I'll just check that later. Sight word review for them. We're gonna do come. We've learned the word come, and I want them to know that there's a difference between come and the word came. So I want them to pay very close attention when they see this word and know it's not the word come, and that come is spelled with an O. So we're gonna review that word. We're also gonna review the word again, because we learned that, and the word said, because it's in this book, and some of them are still mixing up the A and the I. About this book, we're gonna do a picture walk, and we're gonna talk about what we notice about the pages, and we're gonna notice this on the page, and we're gonna notice the boy's face on the pages, and then how they look at the end together. So we're gonna talk about what this story might be about. So we're gonna do a picture walk with predictions. I think I want to show them the word friend on page 14. I think they're gonna get it, but since that word is a little bit different, I want to point it out to them and make sure they know when they get to this word is friend, because it's not a word they can necessarily decode, but they will probably figure it out anyway. So the next part, monitoring and word solving prompts. Again, I'm just gonna think about my group and what they need to focus on. So I'm also thinking about what would fit appropriately for the book. So I'm gonna go back in the book. I think we're gonna try to do find a part in the word you know, or find a word you know. So we'll try this one, and I don't know if there's any vowel sounds that are gonna be tricky for them. Yeah, we'll try the other vowel sound too, because we've got the word slide and home. So the next part is the discussion prompt. And so on the first day, I usually like to do just a comprehension book. So I'll just say, what happened in the story? And with these students, I like to give them a little bit more open-ended questions. So we'll see what they tell me in this story, because they'll tell you more than what they just read in the book. They'll add their inferences in naturally. So I'll ask that question on the first day. And then for my teaching point, I think I want to do contractions, because in the book, he says did not, but he also says didn't. So I think that's going to be the new sight word I teach as well. So we'll do did not, didn't, and that'll be sight word that I teach them. Didn't is a sight word, and I think that'll fit really nicely in with all of this. So word study with them. Sometimes we get to it, sometimes we run out of time. So for them, I think I'll just do, sorry, I just checked my notes on some of them to see if they needed help on anything in particular. So they do. We're gonna work on this digraph. And we'll do an analogy chart. So we'll do th. So I'll think of some words. Give me a second. And then we'll do chin and chop. And so basically they're going to be looking for the TH sound and the CH sound. And we do this on our whiteboards. So for day 2, our new sight word is didn't. So I'm going to put that right here. And I plan out sight words that I want to review with them, but if I find that on day 1 they really needed help with a certain word, I'll put it there again. I for sure want to review again with them, and I just checked again. It has names on it, so I can't really show you the inside. I'll do they, especially since on day 1 we practiced that TH. So they've already learned the word they, but I haven't reviewed it with them in a minute, so we'll do they. And again, I didn't mark this for the first day, but I already knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to work on read it the way the character would say it. Because this book has a lot of dialogue. And then I might touch on this one just a little bit. Why did the character do or say that? Because it's all about the boy pushing the cat away, saying go away, and then at the end he's like, okay, I'll just be your friend. So we're going to touch on that just a little bit. So for the discussion prompt on day 2, looking at the back of this folder, it recommends that they do a prediction. So what do you think is going to happen next? And when I did picture walks, I was focusing on predictions a little bit. So I think that'll be a nice connection for them. So I'll say, what do you think the boy will do next? And for my writing with them, I kind of start them with a sentence stem, so the beginning of a sentence, and then they fill in the blanks. So kind of like I did with my last plan, but a little bit more difficult. So I'll say, the boy will, and they tell me. So I'll just write prediction right here. And I'm just going to check over it. So I didn't put this. We are going to continue read it like the character. And then up at the top, this is what is going to help them get through the text, what I'm going to tell them to make sure they do when they're reading. So I'm going to use the strategy, find a part you know. So I'm going to write locate known parts. And then for my comprehension focus, we're going to work on read like the character. So I think that covers it. I didn't explain this part in my last lesson plan. Basically, I write the word didn't on a whiteboard. So I'll have it, and we're going to talk about the word up here. But basically, I'll show it to everybody. We'll spell it together, D-I-D-N-T, apostrophe T, didn't. And then I'll show it to one student. I'll erase a letter. They'll tell me what's missing. I'll write it in, and I'll say, what's the word? Didn't. And then I'll hand them a magnetic tray with magnetic letters. They'll pull the word down, the letters D-I-D-N-T, and then they'll mix it, they'll fix it, and then after that they're going to practice writing it, and then they write a word they already know. So they'll write the word didn't, then they'll write the word maybe said, and then they'll write the word didn't again. And that's kind of just a little overview of what this section is. Again, I can't film an actual guided reading lesson, but hopefully that helps you guys just a little bit. Look how cute she's being. So that's how I plan my guided reading. I remember in student teaching, I would be so confused on the lesson plans and the format and everything, but it really does get better the more you do it. And now I feel really, really comfortable with Jan's plan, and I do it and I like it. And I think it works for my kids. So it's not something that really takes me a long time anymore. You could probably tell it took me about 10 minutes to do each of those plans. So planning for 5 groups takes me usually about an hour on my Sundays, which is okay. So that's how I do guided reading. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I wish I could film like a lesson for you, but that is definitely not a possibility, so sorry. Jan Richardson does have a lot of videos on her guided reading, so I think you could probably just look up Jan Richardson and see an example of what her guided reading looks like, and that's kind of what I do. So I do have 3 other guided reading plans to write, so I'm gonna get to that. And I have to go to Barnes & Noble because I ordered a book for my read aloud next week. We're learning all about pumpkins, and it's the book Pumpkin Jack, and my team wanted to use, and it looks like a really good book to me. And so I ordered it from Amazon, and Amazon said it was in stock for Prime, which I have, so I should have gotten 2-day delivery, but it still hasn't shipped. So I canceled my order with Amazon. They actually ended up giving me like a $5 promo, so that was really nice. And I'm just gonna go to Barnes & Noble and pick it up because they have it in stock. So I've got to make a trip to Barnes & Noble and do my last 3 guided reading plans and finish up my PowerPoint for the week, but that's it. And I am very, very excited because you guys already saw me open my Pampered Teacher box. I'm so excited to tell you guys that you can get 10% off of a box by using the link www.pamperedteacher.com/misscallscampers. I'll link it below. But also, one of you is going to get their November box for free. So I asked them if I could do a giveaway with the box, and they said yes. So I'm so excited that one of you is going to get one of their boxes to try out for free. So I'll be contacting the winner through Instagram, but you have to enter here on YouTube. All you need to do is leave your first name and your Instagram handle in the comment section. That way I know who to contact. And in that comment, I want you to tell me what your favorite thing from the October box was. Mine was the lanyard. That was my favorite. And I tried the soap last night, and I really actually like the soap too. So let me know your name, your Instagram handle, and what you liked best from the October box. And you have to make sure you're following me and the Pampered Teacher on Instagram. And I'm so excited that they're allowing me to do this giveaway for you guys, because I think that you guys are absolutely amazing. Not only do you get to enter the giveaway on my YouTube channel, but Vanessa over at My Second Grade Life is also going to do a giveaway. So her video is actually going to go live on Tuesday. So you'll have to head to her channel to check out her giveaway. But that's awesome. You guys get 2 chances to win a box from the Pampered Teacher. And you're definitely going to love Vanessa's channel. She has a ton of videos. So if you're looking for a new teacher to binge watch, it's perfect. She does routines and plan with me's and all sorts of fun teaching videos. So hope you guys have an awesome week, and I love you. I am going to continue to vlog more now that I have what feels like my life together at this point. I feel like I'm good. I'm not as stressed as I was at the beginning of the year. First year teacher stress is a real thing.